So I'm joined this morning by this esteemed panel who will each introduce themselves and explain their passion and why they are here today. I'd like to move on now to Mindy Gibbs-Klein. Please join the stage and introduce yourself, please.
Hello, thank you so much to everybody for making this a priority. So this topic is a priority for me every day. I'm a speaker and trainer, excuse me, in the area of thought leadership, thoughtful leadership, and inclusion. And the reason why this is such a passion for me is because I've experienced any number of microaggressions, macroaggressions. I will possibly have time to talk about a big one, but actually I'll tell you now. I came from the corporate world where I thought I was going to play out a nice corporate career. And I was made redundant, laid off when I was 6 months pregnant. And so I became what I call an accidental entrepreneur. And that fueled a desire in me to do my best. And I really didn't want to run a business, but I ended up running one. So excuse me, I have allergies. So I have 2 businesses, one thoughtful leadership in corporates and for entrepreneurs, and the other is a book coaching business. And I am absolutely shocked every time when women don't step up. So my interest in this area and my strong belief is that we as women sometimes have a bias ourselves, and that causes us not to step up. And it's my job to investigate that. So I'm really, really curious, and I'd really love to see what other people think about this and whether we hold ourselves back. Thank you so much.
I'll bring Mindy back onto the stage and just ask her one question. So you are an accidental entrepreneur. I think, as you said at the beginning, women are women still underrepresented in the entrepreneurial world. So you're in the business, book publishing business. We're not seeing many women publishing books. Is that because they're not in the leadership positions? What can we do about it?
Okay, so thank you, because I think a lot of women are like myself. These redundancies, and I was made redundant 3 times in my career, that forced me to take the bull by the horns and just chart my own course. I didn't want to, as I said, but I just kept banging my head against a wall, very overt discrimination, which we do not have time to go into. But when I started my own business, I realized that it took me a lot to become a speaker, a trainer, and all the kind of biases that I had in my own head. When my first book came out in 2001, everybody wanted to know about that. And I was so excited to promote my book. But I didn't tell people at that time it had taken me 10 years to write it and publish it. And most of those 10 years were consumed by fear, wrapped up in other guises. But I was just so scared to be exposed. And part of the reason was, you do see more men at that time, a lot more, who would step up, as we've been talking about. And then I started my book coaching business to really help people of all genders and all sorts of groups to write the book they wanted to write. 3 years in, one of my mentors said, take a look at your client list. And I was shocked that despite being female, wanting to give people a chance, 100% of my clients, 17 clients, were all men. So I now realize that left to chance, people aren't always given the chance. And left to chance, women and people from other underrepresented groups don't always take a chance. So I don't like to leave things to chance. And that started something in me. But the real shocker, and if you've stuck around for this story, you're in luck. 3 years ago, in 2019, I saw a post online, and it was written by a guy, and he said, 38 business books you must read It was just before Christmas, and I thought, great, I love reading, I love books, I love business. And I started to look down the list. I thought, oh, not many women, not many people of color. I got to the bottom and I had to go back again and realized that not one of the 38 books this guy was recommending was written by a woman. And there was one brown-skinned author in the list. Disgusting. But then I don't blame that guy. I'm sure it was an unconscious bias. But I do think part of it is that women and people from other groups don't always see people who look like themselves on the shelves. I've got a lot of little phrases for you guys, but come find me after, find me on LinkedIn. I've got lots of things that I'm doing about this, but the most important one, I'll wrap up with my initiative. 1 week after seeing that post, I created my 80% initiative. And 80% of my client list must come from underrepresented groups. No exceptions. And we hit it in the first year. I hit 78% in the first year of the pandemic, and the same last year. A little bit harder because there's a lot of fear. But I'm going to keep trying to level that playing field. And I've been accused of positive discrimination, also called reverse discrimination. I make no apologies for doing what's right. And I won't stop until we do level that playing field and show women and people from other groups that they too need to be seen and heard. They can become authors and speakers. They have plenty to say, and we can redress the balance and level that playing field. And that's my work.
Excellent.